Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to House Money Sports. We are back with our NBA Top 20 player power ranking, and today we're doing Shai
Shai.
Gilgeous-Alexander. And if you missed our last video in the series, we started out with Damian Lillard, moving on to Shai, and we're going to continue doing this until we filled out a list of top 20 players and rank them. So today we'll be ranking Shai relative to where we think he is versus Damian Lillard. The next guy we'll put them maybe somewhere in between, above or below them, and so on and so forth until we have a list of 20. But let's go ahead, unless Casey has something to say, let's go ahead and get into
Now let's
the
jump in.
video. All right. Shai,
Electric young player here.
dude, so exciting. I love this Oklahoma City team. If there was any way that I could have figured out a way to get Josh Giddey into this top 20 as well, I totally would have done
Oh
it,
yeah,
because I think that's his career trajectory, is that he's going to be
he'll be great.
that type of dude. But he's just not there yet, so I didn't want to cap. Um, but
Uh,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really like this is a team in general that is rising, but Shea, and we mentioned in between videos here, I just kind of like he's similar to Dame, but he's a little bit different. One being he's obviously a lot younger. They both struggle defensively, but the big difference to me is that Shea takes way more 2-point shots and he's getting to the basket way more frequently. And sometimes it looks freaky good.
Oh,
Like the
dude,
way he gets down there.
he is incredible when he gets on the move. He's also a phenomenal passer,
Yeah.
as you see there. I think that's something he should do a little bit more of. Maybe take a little bit less
Oof.
volume. Uh,
That was a nasty shot. Watch this. Skirt.
that's sick, man. The problem is when you have a passer that's as good as Josh Giddey is. It's like, how much of that
Mm-hmm.
role do you really want to take up? You know. But also another difference, he does seem. I'll have to look up their measurables, but he does seem like he's a bit like bigger and longer than Dame is. I could be wrong about that, but Dame is kind of a smaller player, and
Mm-hmm.
Shea seems like he's a little bit lengthier. But he is just great. Like, dude, that's pulling up from the logo from the L. Like, that's wild. That is extreme confidence to do that. You know,
Skirt.
especially as a
And
young
then
player.
and you just see the Lakers defenders down there just turn around and be like, what are
Yeah,
we gonna do here?
yeah.
Like,
We're gonna look at his stats once we're done with the video. But you were looking at it just a minute ago, and I mean, his true shooting percentage right now is like 62%,
62.
something like that. That's a little bit below Dame, but that's still like league average is usually somewhere around 56, 57. And for a guard that's taken as many
Taking 20
shots,
shots, yeah.
like, that is hyper efficient.
You
Now,
mentioned another comparison to theirs. He's only taken 2.7 threes per game. What was Damian? About 11 threes per game?
oh my god, I didn't
Jeez
realize the
Louise.
gap was that big. Yeah, that's a,
Yeah, I
that's a
didn't
giant
either.
difference. Um, that's kind of wild. How many is he hitting? What's his 3-point percentage right now?
36%.
Oh, okay, that's not very
One
good.
one out of three. Yeah.
That's not as good as I thought it'd be. For some reason, I was thinking that he was approaching 40%, but
No, yeah, he's playing way more athletically, and I don't know if that's the right word to use there, but like where he's on the move a lot more when he's making like these shots.
yeah,
That's what I think of when I think of him.
he
That
he
was a
he
nice steal.
almost when you're on NBA 2K, you
Ooh.
have you have the play styles or whatever. He's like guard, post up, and cutter, like that. Like, that's his play style. Like, he likes
Hmm.
to cut to the basket, and if he has to, post up down there and make a couple moves with good footwork. And
The way he can be standing still, get up to full speed, and then just stop in that last pull up jumper he did, like, and have complete balance. That's what makes him special.
yeah,
Because it's like he seems like he's running as fast as he possibly can, and then he stops around the free throw line and just pulls up and has a completely balanced jumper.
I
Absolutely fun to watch.
the
Ooh.
the thing about Shea, though, to me that's so exciting is I think there's still a lot left in the tank for him to grow. as well.
Yeah.
Like we're still talking about an extremely young player. And this is the first year where he's like really broken out to become like a superstar. We all kind of felt like he had that in him, but I feel like he has even more. I feel like he truly could eventually become like one of the 6, 7 best players in the league. Maybe, probably not any higher than that, but kind of where like maybe Ja Morant is now. I think Shai can be that kind of dude. Maybe not stylistically, but in terms of what people generally think about his game.
But will he ever have to call his dad to fight Shannon Sharp for him? Is the question. I don't know. That remains to be unseen.
Yeah, that is still a mystery to us. But this Oklahoma City team is, I'm not a fan of theirs, but I'm a fan of what they've done.
Some players,
the fact that they got him and just like a slew of really valuable draft picks, it seems, from the Clippers in the Paul George trade is just, it's just insane. It's one of the, I don't want to say it's a lopsided trade because Paul George is still like a really good player, but man, it was just a perfect trade for them at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
They could not have done any better if they, there's no way they could have gotten more out of that deal. And the other thing with Shai is he's not exceptionally like flashy or anything. Like
No.
it's very, he moves very efficiently. Like he has very little wasted motion. Like he doesn't do anything extravagant. It's just whatever gets the job done.
A little bit about his flaws though. He does look bad on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I wish this showed some of those plays.
Well, this is the highlights. This isn't the lowlights. But he isn't. He's not a great defender. But he does have, at least it looks like to me. Like I said, I haven't looked at his measurables, but it does look like he has some size and he has some length, and he is really young.
He's made a few blocks and a few steals.
Yeah,
but it's less. It's like the blocks are coming from behind the player. It's the steals are just really bad passes that he's picking off.
He's using his athleticism to make up, to capitalize on bad decisions. But that's not really what playing defense in the NBA is. But I think as he gets older, he learns more about positioning. His instincts improve. I do think that he can become a better defender. I think he's probably a better. I think he's probably right now a better on-ball defender than he is as an off-ball defender. I think a lot of his struggles come off-ball, but I mean he's not great at either one. But if he could just improve like his instincts on the floor, like when people are cutting, when he needs to hedge, when he doesn't. When he needs to go over a screen, whenever he needs to go under, like all those things, I think that'll improve with time. We're still talking about a player that's extremely young, But yeah, the backcourt of him and Josh Giddey is just so exciting to me. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. And then once they get Chet Holmgren healthy, I don't know how much I believe in him as a player, especially after the injury, but a lot of people seem to really like him in the draft. So we'll see. And the fact that they still have like a buttload of draft picks to fall back on, I don't know. It's just a really exciting
This team's
time.
going to be good.
Yeah, they're going to be really good.
It'll definitely be, you'll definitely see it in like 3 or 4 years where you're like, the Clippers suck now. And the Thunder are one of the top, probably 3, 4, 5 teams in the West.
Totally.
Perennially.
But okay, let's check out his stats for just a minute. Yeah, man, I could have. Okay, my impression.
His progression is very strong over the last 3 years.
Yeah, last year he was not good shooting the three at all. He was shooting nearly 5.5 threes a game, and he was only hitting 30% of them. The year before that, he was hitting 41% of his threes, taking 4.9 a game. So I guess it almost feels like he lost a bit of confidence in his three after last year. So he decided to basically take half as many, make a few more.
Or is he playing to his strengths? Because now, like, you see his points per game are so much higher because he's taking higher percentage shots.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I almost think that he lost confidence in his three, and it almost by default made him a better player because he's just so good at attacking the basket.
He's drawing a lot more fouls this season too. You can see he's attempting 3 more free throws per game,
and he's
from
money
last year. That's a big difference. Yeah,
he's been money from the free throw line. I mean, 10 free throws a game is enormous. Like that's a ridiculous amount of free throws.
This is a testament to coaching and to the player simply saying, like, simply admitting to himself what needs to happen to be better for himself and for his team. And if he could continue this and pick up that confidence in the three, or pick up that talent in the three again, I mean, we're looking at a guy who might be averaging more than 31 points a game next season. The season after that. Like, he's got a lot of room for growth.
Dude, we were talking about his defense and everything, but looking at his defensive metrics, I mean, defensive win shares and defensive box plus minus are not flawless stats, but he hasn't been horrible in those areas. I mean, this year he had 1.5 in defensive box plus minus, 2.1 in defensive win shares. Like, that's not terrible. So I think maybe we're underestimating
those numbers a little bit. What's
defensive win shares, an estimate of the number of wins contributed by a player due to defense. So that's just how much you contribute to. Box plus minus is more like points, like how many points per 100 possessions, I think, like above a league average player.
Okay, so they just take the whole league, and then whatever the median is snapped at 0. And everybody else is listed. Okay.
Yeah, so basically it's saying per 100 possessions, he's 1.5 points better than an average defensive player. And on offense, he's 5.8 points better, which gives you a total of 7.3 points better.
Okay. It'd be interesting to pull those lists. Is there a way to pull that list across the league to see?
Oh, yeah. I can, here, let me.
Because I think that would be really high. I mean, those NBA... are important stats. Obviously, though, I will say, like, your plus minus also depends on the rest of your teammates on the court with you.
I think
on an individual possession, but when you average it out, it does matter. Like,
I think raw plus minus, that's true, but I think box plus minus, if I'm not mistaken, like, they try to correct for that a little bit.
It's translated to an average team.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it is.
I think so. But yeah, if you look right here, in defensive win shares, the top 20 goes from 3.0 defensive win shares to 2.1. And
so that's that far back, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically he's tied for top 20 with Jimmy Butler. And then in box plus minus, dude.
No, you have him at 2.1 on that. He's 1.5 right now this season.
Oh, yeah. No. That's in box plus minus. I'm talking about defensive win shares.
Oh, that was win share. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, my bad.
In box plus minus, his 1.5 would be tied with Nicholas Batum for 20th in the league. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, they're very flawed stats. Like you said, like, some of it does depend on who's on the court with you. I mean,
you definitely see one guy at the top every time.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, everybody trashes Nikola Jokic's defense, but he does top a lot of these lists. I mean, I don't think he's the best defender, but I think people underestimate his defense to a certain degree. But these tend to overestimate him as well.
I think Evan Mobley is a lot better than his recent. Everybody recently on TV seems to be talking about how he slipped defensively, and I'm like, I don't know if you're watching the same basketball game.
Him and Jared,
I am.
Yeah, him and Jared Allen. I don't want to get off on a tangent or anything, but him and Jared Allen do make up like one of the best defensive front courts I've ever seen.
For sure.
But yeah, in terms of Shai, this actually makes me.
Sick.
You know, coming into this video, I didn't think there was any chance that I would put him above Damian, and I still don't think I will. But looking at those metrics, watching the highlights, it at least made me pause to consider. You know what I mean? I still think I'm going to slide him below Dame for the moment.
We have a lot more data on Dame, and we're talking about just this year too. Is the hard part.
Yeah, this is a year 5 player, and he's very
Yeah.
young. Like he came into the league very young. How I do want to double check how big he is though, because he just looks like a lot longer than you would think.
6'6", 180.
Yeah, so see, he's a bigger dude. I was right. For some reason I had never like really looked into his length. Yeah, with a 6'11" wingspan, like that's a big guard. Like that's a lot to deal with. So he's also Canadian. That's something that always trips me up. Like when you're talking about, you know, like a lot of people will talk about who would win in like a Team USA versus Team World. Like if you put the best players like from the world,
it's becoming the Team World. It's definitely becoming the Team World.
I think at this point it's undeniable that it'd be Team World. If you put Shai on a team with Luka Doncic, Jokic, Giannis, Joel Embiid, like dude, it's game over. But yeah, so
that is a really good team.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The only thing I'll add, I think that I think Shai is behind Lillard on this top.
So do
list. I think he's just behind him probably at the end of the day.
I think Shai is going to end up being kind of towards.
They're so similar.
That they are, but they're not. Like Damian's much smaller. He shoots a lot more threes.
Damian does seem to be a worse defensive player.
Damian's a very bad defender. Like really, really bad. But yeah, so I would rank Shai probably towards the bottom of this list for now, but it's only because he's just now making his breakout. Like we don't have a lot to go off of. Now, if he can repeat what he's doing this year, if he can repeat that year in and year out for the next year or two, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be a top 10 player. He has that type of talent. It's just a matter of actually doing it.
Box plus minus, Shai is 0.4 points better than Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
So they're right there, but I also really like the adjustment. Like just looking at it, taking less threes, drawing more fouls, making more points, like playing into his strengths more. I really like that. I like that I don't know if that was him, if that was coaching. I like that happened. I like to see that happen.
So do I.
And I think it'll continue. So I think almost tied, and we're probably going to land them right around 10, 11, 12 range.
I think Shai will end up being kind of towards the bottom just because this is the first year that he's doing it. Yeah. Well, I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that. Some of the guys that we end up talking about may come out of the wash like significantly worse than I think, and we have to rank them below Shai. But that's just my inclination at the moment. So yeah, I'm good.
Love to see these two teams play a play-in game, Portland and Oklahoma City. I don't know if it'll happen, but that'd be a really good play-in to watch.
Yeah, me too. But okay,
cool.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Damian, then Shai. Guys, please like and subscribe and comment and do the thing on the thing that helps us.
Follow us on the tweet.
Yeah. Follow EdgeFinder07. Follow Beanie Antics on Twitter. With Casey's Twitter, you'll get some sick like betting picks and stuff like that.
I literally tweet twice a day now.
Yeah.
I tell you what I did yesterday, how we did, and then I'm going to post 3 plays a day.
Yeah,
so
for free.
If you do that, you do that.
Yeah, it's for free for the moment until we can find someone willing to take our bum butts, but but anyways, yeah, and on my Twitter, I'll post like once every 4 days, and it'll be something really stupid. And I'll tweet out our videos and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
We're going to be posting, we're going to do the rest of this top 20 list, but just a little teaser for what we've got planned in the future. We're going to do some team breakdowns and player breakdowns for the MLB as well.
Yes.
To help you get ready for if you're into MLB fantasy or just a big MLB fan like we are. We're going to be hyping up some teams and really trying to give you insight on farm systems and who they're fielding in April and who we think they might be fielding come the end of the year.
Yeah, I think I may call that
be a fun MLB season.
I may call that like the Zips series or something like that, where we go over the Zips projections and all that. That's going to be fun. That's what I'm really excited about. But yeah, guys, see y'all later. Peace.
See you.